for school in the morning. Nobody tells you that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. Like I said, a quick couch vlog. Make sure you subscribe to the Taking Home podcast where I talk about professional wrestling topics, and I put my matches as classic alpha. So make sure you look at the playlist and the content. I'm trying to block that light. Uh, Make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. But a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of betrayal and everything. God bless you, Raphael. You know, that is still C3 Ultimate Wrestling. A lot of good things are happening there. Yeah, we definitely about to talk about that real quick. So make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. A lot of the matches from Big Business have been uploaded, and more will continue to. Lafayette, Indiana, in the building. What's going on? What's going on? RT to the B. Robert Brown. What's going on? Rent Syndicate going strong. So make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, the Taking On Podcast, and C3 Ultimate Wrestling. C3 Ultimate Wrestling, our next show, May 23rd, called 20. It's the 20th show of C3 Ultimate Wrestling. Big show. Big stuff. Like last show was big business. We doing bigger business May 23rd. And we just pushing on strong despite that I'm having a family affair with things going on with my wife, betraying me and a whole bunch of stuff. But you know, that's for another time. Can't believe a three-time champ, but Finn or Sammy can't win. Unbelievable. Make sure you get your tickets for 20. That'll be Dyer, Indiana Herald's private venue. Tickets are on sale now. Tickets are $5 off. It'll be $5 more at the door. Bars. I'm going to talk about Cody Rhodes first. Cody Rhodes is a three-time WWE champion. He beat Roman. He beat Cena. He beat Drew. He's a three-time champion. Um, Yeah, we just not seeing eye to eye Robert Brown right now, especially with everything. Like I said, uh, just sub to the channel, you'll see a lot of everything that's going on. Or you could go to Critically Drinking or Shooting from the Script to watch the full show to see exactly what I'm talking about. You good. You good. You good. Um, so Drew is a three-time champion. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wasn't expecting Cody. I wasn't expecting Cody to be a three-time champion. I got a smile today. Wow. I wasn't expecting him to be a three-time champion. Not so soon. He just lost it to Drew because Jacob got involved, and now Jacob got involved, and Drew lost the title because Jacob got involved, and Cody came back. So, um, I understand people's fatigue about being tired of Cody winning everything. Do I think he wins everything? No, but he's definitely won a lot of stuff since he has been back. We've said it before. Now he's a three-time champion. He's a tag team champion, back-to-back Royal Rumble winner, two tickets to the cookout, King of the Ring, uh, all kind of stuff. Like we've seen that, and I knew that a lot of people was upset that Cody went and faced Roman again at WrestleMania 40 because it was like he had his chance back at the end of the line. And some people don't even see Cody as a main eventer still. Some still see him as the guy that was just part of the legacy, which is crazy because he's going against Randy Orton, right? Um, Swerves happen. You know, last year there was a swerve where it's supposed to be Rhea and Bianca, but then they pivoted with Io beating Rhea, and then it went to a triple threat. And he won a Crown Jewel champ. Yep, he did. Yep. Forgot about that. He beat Gunther. Should Drew McIntyre wrestle Nick Aldis at WrestleMania? Should they add him? I don't even think that Drew should wrestle Nick. Now, I have nothing against Nick. I actually like Nick Aldis as Magnus in TNA. I thought that they did a great job with that until the Dixie Carter storyline got like just oversaturated. But still, I'm sure it'll be a good match or whatever. But to be a champion this month and then the next month you're gonna get the gym is just crazy. Like to me, I do feel a little bad for Drew. One, because they kind of made him like the cowardly role, being 6'5", 275 pounds. Also, because low key Cody was like breaking the law, going into his house and all of this stuff. And I was like, okay, this 2 stages, 3 stages of heck match, he has to win. And then he wins it because somebody else got involved. So obviously they're going with the role of Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I do think the match will be good. We have seen them face each other before. The legacy stuff, the breakup, and then they face each other. Was it the King of the Ring? They faced each other not too long ago. Was it last year? they face each other, and like a lot of people have been under the thing when we wanted to see fresh matchups, and Roman and CM Punk is not a fresh matchup. They faced each other before. Uh, like I said, Drew and Randy, they face each other. Drew and Cody face each other. Cody and Randy face each other. But still, people love Randy. I think Randy, like I said, people are going to cherish this because we don't know when Randy's going to leave. We don't know when he's going to ride off to the sunset because we are seeing our heroes leave. And people are thinking about Randy and Brock. When is Randy and Brock going to be up out of there? So still, it will be cool to see Randy win the belt, but at the same time, to have Cody become a three-time champion, only for him to lose it to Randy about a month later is bananas to me. King of the Ring. Yep, that's what I thought. King of the Ring. King of the Ring. Yeah. So still, like I said, Cody has definitely won a lot. And I talked to my homie Drew, and sometimes he does say like he doesn't understand why like people are like upset because Cody's just being him. I just think that people was just tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over. Like we could have went without Cody being in the main event. Honestly, I understand why they're doing it because he is a merch seller, which goes into my next point in a few minutes. They want him because they still consider him the face of the company and everything, t-shirts and stuff, and then going against Randy. You can make all kind of stories. You're going to bring up the legacy. You're going to bring up how he made him like backstab his dad, and he used his dad to get what he wanted. They're going to use a lot of that stuff. But curious to see what else they do with it, right? They do with it. You know what I'm saying? So I am curious to see. I don't think that Cody needed to be a three-time champion so quick, so soon. But it is what it is. TKO is all about the money. They're all about all of that stuff. They're getting all of that. And um, they are like trying to cheapen the prices the day of, which is crazy. Like people are waiting the day of the show to get cheaper prices because people are finally like, you know what? I'm not about to spend all this money on this. I ain't got to do this no more. So they still making records, they still making money, but still, some people really are waiting the day of. That's crazy. Not me. I'm not waiting outside being like, oh, I'm just waiting because they do want those seats to be filled up. So still, happy birthday. So wanted to speak about that. And like I said, I'm trying not to be long because I got to take my kiddies in. All right. So biggest things from the past 2 weeks: Danhausen and Ricky Sosa. Bang bang Sosa Sosa. Bang bang Sosa Sosa. So Danhausen made a debut, his WWE debut at Elimination Chamber. He was in the box, and inside the coffin that was in the box with a lot of women that was in the coffin that was with the box with them, and then they all came out. I remember one of them tripped. If you look at it, one of them definitely tripped. So still, Chicago booed him, but now fast forward, people are liking him. They're anticipating him and R-Truth getting together. They're looking at him being cursed. He cursed Dom, and Dom lost his Intercontinental belt to Penta and stuff. He's a merch seller now. He's the number one merch seller. He's selling a lot of merch and stuff like that. So seems like it's a good investment so far. He's a wrestler, but they're using him in a non-wrestling capacity. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Danhausen. I wasn't a big fan of him in AEW, but when he gets the internet ablaze, appreciate you. He gets the internet ablaze. You are cursed. You are cursed. Like, I think a lot of people was upset because they thought it was going to be a big debut. Most people wanted Jericho. Some people just wanted like a important debut. And I'm not saying that Danhausen's debut wasn't important. I do think that WWE did a bad job. It just reminded me of Vince McMahon with the egg that they was promoting the Rock's movie. It just reminds me of the gobbledygooker. But still, a lot of people are buying his stuff. They're buying his merch. It's not just independence. It's just some stuff. I mean, kids will look at him, and I can see kids liking Danhausen, honestly. The paint, the tattoos, the "you are cursed." I definitely see it. WWE is doing commercial stuff. You look at Netflix, they got the DoorDash commercial with the food cartoon. That's very creative and stuff. They are doing a whole bunch of commercial stuff more than anything. Excuse me. So if Danhausen, the debut was terrible, but the deposits are great. Robert Brown, because they are making a lot of money off of Danhausen. So we are going to see Danhausen for all of these weeks until the money go down. And I don't think the money is going to go down soon. I don't know if his shirts are sold out, but that's a big thing. That a non-wrestler can make wrestling very interesting to a lot of people. Now, I'm going to talk about Ricky Sosa. Now, Ricky Sosa is a 21-year-old young man from Belgium, and he's been making his U.S. debut. He made his TNA debut a few days ago. Now, he got viral off of his theme song, Bang Bang Sosa Sosa. He comes out, he has the invisible guns, like a lot of rappers and battle rappers do. They have the invisible guns. Bang bang. Sosa Sosa. And it is so catchy. It is so catchy. And to me, it reminds me of kind of the Joe Hendry thing. Now, Joe Hendry performs his own song. Um, for Sosa's, it is Young Savage, I believe. But still, it's just the fact that the song can become more over than the actual wrestler and the talent. Like, I made videos about how crazy Joe Hendry is and people love him, but I don't think that his like wrestling is what saves him. I don't, he's an okay wrestler. I don't think the moveset is something that we're all going to remember. We're going to remember him doing the turnaround thing. I'm going to remember his song and stuff. Now, Ricky Sosa does have a few matches online, and I'm not even going to lie. I didn't watch them. I'm not watching nothing that's 30, 20, 30 minutes. I'm not doing it. I'm old, man. I got kids. I got stuff I got to do. Everything that's going on with my family. I ain't got time for that, man. Like, the independents, man, be having matches for hours for what and stuff. But I've seen his entrance, and I definitely see it. I see why. I know there's a guy that wrestles out here named Stephen Flo. Shout out to him. He went viral because of this stuff, and he gets a lot of bookings, and he's a decent, good wrestler and stuff like that. But still, a lot of it is, what it tells me about the fans is that the fans do like having fun sometimes. Sometimes people be like, oh, well, we just want to see wrestling. Sometimes this is not the case. Sometimes you want to see characters. I like R-Truth. I love R-Truth. But R-Truth is one of the ones that's just like, he ain't got to wrestle. He could just say something funny and we can laugh. Look at what happened when he was talking to Kit Wilson, talking about he had a camel toe and stuff. Look at how Damian Priest was laughing. Look at how everybody was laughing. Because it's entertainment. And I've said this about wrestling, the entertainment part is very, very important. I know a lot of people got mad when WWE went to WWE and not WWF, and they got mad at that. But honestly, wrestling can be entertaining even without wrestlers, and it can definitely happen. Oversaturation becomes a problem. I think that's why I couldn't rock with AEW at one point. Because I was like, man, this just seems like a lot of people is just playing. They're not taking the craft serious. Now, WWE has a thing of being stale or doing the wrong stuff, but at the same time, it was a little bit more decent than AEW, in my opinion. Rock versus Macho Man. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Who would win, John Cena and Hogan? I would say Hogan would probably win. I'm just saying that from a political standpoint and also how giving John Cena is as a professional wrestler. The Rock versus Macho Man. I'm a Macho Man fan way more than a Rock, but it'll be a good match. But going back into what I was saying, so like when you look at Ricky Sosa and stuff like that, and honestly, he's going to get a lot of bookings. He's going to get a lot of bookings in America and stuff like that off his song alone. And maybe he is a decent wrestler. Like, I can't sit here and discredit him being a terrible wrestler. I can't even really discredit Danhausen. There's a difference between not being a fan and being a bad wrestler and calling somebody a bad wrestler because you aren't a fan. If I'm not a fan, I'm just not a fan. It doesn't mean that the person is terrible, but sometimes people's personalities are way more popular than how they wrestle. We look at wrestlers and stuff like that. Cena, people talked about him until they booed him. Oh, 5 moves of doom. And then you realize that almost every wrestler has at least 4 or 5 moves. But the fact that the narrative of what the fans say, and I love the fans, but the fans ain't always right. The guy y'all did Cena. 5 moves of doom. All he do is 5. And then you look at guys that y'all, not all y'all look at guys y'all praise, like the CM Punks and the Daniel Bryans and the Johnny Garganos and the Seth Rollins and stuff, and they only had 4 or 5 moves they was doing too. So it's like, I'd rather people just say you're not a fan of somebody, but if you turn around and say what everybody else is saying, and then it could get proven wrong, and then you don't like to say, oh, I just don't like him. Well, just say you just don't like him. As far as like these guys go that are on going viral, I do wish them the best though. Um, like I said, bang bang, Sosa Sosa. I am glad that it is a young man that is of color that is saying bang bang, Sosa Sosa, and it isn't someone else. And I'm going to say that, and hopefully you guys don't take that the wrong way. I'm going to say that because we have a lot of people who use things that are similar or used most likely in the black culture because it's from the black culture that make a lot of money. As much as we all love Cena, a lot of people look at the Doctor of Thugonomics and we look at how over it got. Not saying that John Cena didn't work hard because he was a rapper. He used to battle rap. But we look at that and we're like, well, dang, couldn't y'all have done that with R-Truth? I mean, TNA did it, but couldn't they have done it with R-Truth and stuff like that? Dancing and the hip hops and all of this other stuff. So this is what I'm saying. When you had Braun Strowman talk about get these hands and stuff like that, I'm sorry, no offense to the Caucasian community, but it's not a lot of them the people that's gonna say you're gonna get these hands. It's more black rhetoric. It's more of what we use and stuff like that. And we have other people that will use it and benefit from it. So as far as Ricky Sosa is concerned, I'm from Chicago. So, the one Sosa that we really call Sosa, well, two people that we call Sosa in Chicago, one of them first name is Sammy and the other one is Chief Keef. So a laugh. That was a bar. Still, you know what I'm saying? I do hope him the best. I hope both of them the best. But let me know what you guys think. I got to get these kids to bed. I hope you guys and gals have a wonderful night. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.